10 years. 10 years from Quest. We're at the first anniversary of Quest is rearing its head. This is it. It's coming. It's a big step for you. It's a big milestone. Want to hear it. 10 years. Close your eyes. Where do you see it?
The vision for Quest, which is subject to change, shift, and adapt as necessary, right? Because we're all about tending to our clients. But the personal ambitions of Quest, if that's what you're asking, at some point is to have a esports presence, a proper professional team, to have a proper content creation team, individuals that are sponsored specifically by Quest. I would really like to do it a lot sooner than 10 years, is to begin offering young adults and kids, to offer kids classes on technical enablement. So learning how to utilize technology to whether it's via development, but via data and AI utilization, whether it be an infrastructure side, to help provide like young folk technical expertise and focus in whatever it is that they might be passionate about, specifically in the realm of gaming, because that's where we operate. Shout out to Quest Gaming, right? For all kids everywhere. I'm a firm believer that I am the way that I am today because I was able to have a controller in my hand since the moment that I was a kid, and I think all kids need that. I think this is the cool, like this right here, single-handedly changed my life.
In between, ladies and gentlemen and gentle folk, I am Savvy Savage, your host, and I'm doing a wonderful interview today with Christian Vasquez, otherwise known as uhmQuez, otherwise known as the founder and CEO of Quest Game. Christian.
The tables are turned just a slight little bit. Is that the case? Is that what we have here?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It is a pleasure to have you here, man.
Hey, man, I gotta tell you, I'm excited to be here. I'll be honest, I've always loved being interviewed. I feel like it's just such a great way to really present, or rather show folks who you are, kind of get some like insight as to like how people think, what's on their minds, so things of the sort. So, and I know you're one hell of an interviewer. So I think we got a little something going on here.
Well, I really appreciate that. You are a hard act to follow in terms of hosting. And I'll be completely frank. You come prepared, if anything. You make an improviser like myself worry with that type of stuff. But without further ado, let's give the people a basic rundown of like just give me the three things, man. 3 things. Describe yourself. What would they be?
To describe myself, I would say I am a techie, a tech aficionado that has a ridiculously massive passion about like that's all centered around delivering value to those
3?
around me. So like when you say my 3, are you saying like just 3 things that I care about?
3 words that put it together.
All right.
That encapsulate that.
I would say gamer.
Okay.
Visionary. And dreamer. Maybe visionary and dreamer like could be synonymous with each other to somebody.
If they're not to you, then that's good enough.
Yeah, I mean, I dream big, man. I shoot for the stars, land on a cloud. I've always felt like is a good way to go.
Could you expand on what you think visionary and dreamer are in difference then? What those 2 words mean to you?
Yeah, sure. I think when I think it's important to be a dreamer, no matter what. I feel like there's a lot of magic that can happen just by letting your imagination run wild. Since I was a wee young lad, my parents have always told me that like the biggest problem that I have is that I never put my feet on the ground, and I've taken that and I have since learned to I guess be realistic where it's necessary, because don't get me wrong, being realistic is ideal, especially in this world. But I think the shortcomings of it is that if you are too realistic, you immediately eliminate the things that are possible, because you would deem certain things to be impossible because you're realistic. That then oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
I was gonna say that then segues to the following, is that, like, well, if you are a dreamer and then you also know how to kind of be realistic, that allows you to become a visionary. That allows you to start putting pen to paper. It lets you start thinking about not just what the vision might be, what it is your end goal might be, but also the steps required to get there. I've suffered for a long time about, like, with thinking that I wasn't a good leader, and even to this day I feel like there are a lot of areas that I need to improve in as a leader. But I am so passionate about the things that I care about, that it pushes me to recognize first, and then also act on improving the areas that I might suffer a little bit in. So to me, to dream is to say that there's no bounds, that nothing is, that there's nothing that is outside of the realm of possibility. And then to be a visionary is to take that very thing you're dreaming about and having tangible steps, quantifiable results, like a path in which that thing could be executed. It might sway left and right. You might think it's going to go a certain way and then it doesn't. Such is life. But that to me is what it means to be a visionary.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you're saying that it allows you to kind of keep your mind to opportunity and the availability of what might happen, what could happen, so you can take it to a higher place. And because of the fact that you look beyond those boundaries, you allow yourself to put a heavier burden on yourself in terms of expectations and goals, and where you expect yourself to be if you're going to call yourself something strong and good. That's
a fair way of putting it. Yeah. To say that I've been tough on myself is a bit of an understatement. I hate to continue to use the word that I suffer with. It's not anything that causes deep pain, but I've just noticed that I haven't been as effective because of how ridiculously tough I've been on myself. And as of late, I just celebrated my 25th birthday. Super grateful to have 25 years around the sun. But something that I learned about myself, that I promised myself, I declared this to myself, is to be more patient. And I think that that's why being a visionary works. That's why being a dreamer works. Because if you dream big, and then you think about steps that you can take to get there, and you're willing to be patient enough to let those things, there's work that's got to be done, but you're patient enough to see the result of that work that you do, anything's possible. I thoroughly believe.
And I guess a follow-up question to that would be, do you feel like that mindset comes from your path in education and where you ended up in choosing and getting your degree, and choosing where how that led leading up to now?
So you're asking where it came from, or like
do you feel though as if your education path in engineering and etc. took you in that direction? You feel me?
I think that's a great question.
Mentally,
I see what you mean. I think what I'm grateful for is my day job, where I have the opportunity to work as an engineer. It gave me insights about what it means to operate in the business world, and how to operate from a technical perspective. And as a result, that you heard me say earlier about like quantifiable results and having proper steps. I think it taught me how to separate the chase, the high, the wanting to go for something, to here is concrete steps on making that happen. Like if A, B, and C occurs, therefore D must happen. And I don't know if maybe that answered your question or not. I hope it did.
It sounds like you're a dreamer with a plan. That's the way to do it.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Well, I also wanted to bring up one of the things I feel has always been is quantifiable, like you said, in terms of a person, a man, a character of a person's decision and personality. I want to know, what is the one thing you personally in your life you always aim to achieve?
Nice, dude. Yeah, one thing that I always aim to achieve is I hope everyone knows after my interactions with them that it was genuine, that it was intentional, that my outreach to them, that my questions, my asking of how their day is not for small talk. It is because I just care. If you're not having a good day, if we're about to sit down and have a business discussion, and let's just say in the distant future, we're, thinking about partnering up with whoever, and we're about to sit down, and I ask that individual how their day is going. They tell me it's not going well. I care very little about the business at that point, because in my eyes, it's like I feel like I was placed on this earth to, I said it earlier, right, to deliver value. And I think the way that I do that is by, just being genuine, just being a real person, someone that listens closely, that knows to bite their tongue and just let folk tell you what it is, listen, comprehend, be empathetic, try to feel for where they are, and then and let them know that they were heard. That is my mission with every single interaction I've ever had. And I would say to answer your question, that is my biggest aim. If I could have anybody know anything about me, it's that he cared. He whatever it was during that even if it was that little mini interaction, he cared. It was real. And if I'm off, thanks, man. If I'm off this earth and that's what people remember me for, I did a good job.
Humble words. I love it. It was a very introspective, very well-rounded answer. I love that.
Thank you.
So, Christian, I gotta ask, why Quest Gaming? Why did you decide this, of all things?
So, for a very long time, I guess I should provide some context before I even answer that. First and foremost, I'm fortunate enough where I had an opportunity to go to school, study, and chase a degree, and it wasn't something that I've always felt capable of doing. Mind those words, right? Very capable of doing, and I knew that if I invested in it and I really took it serious, that there would be a lot of opportunity that would, not to say fall to my lap, but that could be presented as a result. I graduated May 2019 as a software engineer from Florida Gulf Coast University, wings up, and immediately after, I had already had a job lined up at a fantastic tech company that I to this day, I'm still there. I'm ridiculously grateful for a lot of the things that I've learned through them, through a lot of the connections I've made through there, and just really meaningful friendships that I developed through that job. But before that was ever lined up, literally a month and a half, maybe 2 months before graduation, it's kind of worrisome. I had no idea what the hell I was gonna do. Not a single clue. I was applying left and right to work as a software developer, specifically as a software engineer, to write code. And I knew, I could spend 90% of my day behind a computer writing code. I was capable of that, but I always felt like it just wasn't all of me. I always felt like I could do so much more than just write code. And as a result, I found I discovered while I was up in Cleveland at a networking event through SHEP. Shout out to SHEP, by the way, Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. If you are in university and you are watching this, and it doesn't matter if you're not Hispanic, it doesn't matter if you're not an engineer, join your chapter. They will hook you up and they will get you in the rooms that you need to be in. So quick shout out to them. Region 7, okay? That's why we do it down here in Florida. Anyway, I went up there and I went with the notion that I would needed to apply to work as a developer. And, I'm applying left and right, and maybe literally the last 2 days of the event, I had met an individual who was also from South Florida, Giancarlos. I won't say what company he works for, but I met him and I could tell he was from Miami, so of course I just had to talk to this guy. So I go and I start talking with him, and after a while he ends up introducing me to this kind of work that's called sales engineering or tech sales. And what it is that they have a lot of individuals with technical backgrounds who help support sales teams, and that in a nutshell is like roughly what I do as my day job. So I still get to maintain the technical integrity of my degree, if you will, but I also get to leverage the other skills that I have, right? Which is speaking with people and building relationships and networking with individuals everywhere. Because that's what I think my superpower is building relationships. I think everybody has a superpower. You have to find out what it is. That's up to you to discover. But I think my superpower is building relationships. After being there, after he introduced me to that, immediately applied to the company that I'm at right now because I fell in love with their program. Got the job, got in, and I know this is like a ridiculously long-winded answer for why Quest Gaming, but after being in my role for some time, I discovered that not to say that I wanted more, but man, like you could do more. There's more value that you can deliver for folks outside of a corporate world. Not to say that corporate work is not fulfilling. It is. I've met a lot of individuals who, make a lot of money and do a lot of really great things, but it just wasn't my end game. I knew that I wasn't gonna reach a sense of fulfillment by being there. So I started asking myself some questions, and I actually read this incredible book. Sorry, I started to leave mid-interview, but I read this incredible book, completely changed my life, and it's called The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss. And in this book, one of the exercises that he asks you about is building a dream line. So people think about a timeline, right? Like what I want to execute in 6 months. Well, his was a dream line. What do you want to dream that you have in 6 months? And similarly, again, a lot of the things that I'm saying, you might, if you end up picking up the book, which I do recommend, if you're watching this, read a book. It's good. One of the things that he talks about is saying, well, instead of just writing up a regular timeline of like, okay, I want to have a raise in a year, think about what write down the craziest dreams that you have in a year, then write it down in 6 months. Now that you've written it down, let's think about quantifiable steps to make those things happen. What would it take to make it happen? In a nutshell, it essentially inspired me to say that what I wanted was to be completely immersed in the world of gaming. I have several passions in my life. The biggest of which is my family, first and foremost. If you know me outside of this world, then you know that I give all of my credit for everything that I've ever been able to achieve to my family, who taught me the importance of hard work and showed me what it means to work smart as well. And I feel like I am a living testament to hard work plus working smart goes a very long way. And I took that and I just straight up ran with it. And I started asking myself questions about, well, how is it you could even get in the gaming industry? Can I leverage my relationships at work to maybe give me an opportunity to get in front of people that work in the gaming industry? Could I, start reaching out to folks on LinkedIn, say that I'm willing to work for free, just so that way I can, have an opportunity to meet somebody, right? Just kept going and going and going. And it wasn't until I realized that there was a gap in the gaming industry. One that that I've learned since then is technically fulfilled to some degree, because it wasn't going to be too hard for other giants to get involved in gaming, as they have, if you've been paying attention to anything in gaming and esports over the last year, especially last year, even during COVID times. It came to me that there's nobody that is fulfilling this space of sportswear for esports professionals, for streamers, for content creators. And when I started this business, it was with the notion that we could fulfill that space. Since then, I've learned a lot about what else we could do. We can do way more than just apparel. And with the same living, mantra of what it is that I want to do with my life personally, which is, again, delivering just value, all about delivering value. I recognize that there's more that we could do here with Quest. And why Quest Gaming? Well, because it's something that, not to say people need, but it's something that I feel that if people have, it can set them on the right path to achieve the very goals, dreams, and desires that they have. All about saying, give me your wildest dreams and I will show you how we can make it happen. That's a huge statement to make, but I believe in it. I believe in it because I'm working it every day. And if I'm willing to put the work in every day, and I believe that this will happen, then I will use myself as a living testament to this works. So hopefully that answers your question. I know it's a ridiculously long-winded answer, but
no, you're fine.
I like to talk. Sorry.
No, I absolutely loved it. It gave us the insight and perspective we needed in terms of how it came to get together. You understand, like it and well spoken. But I would say that as you also answered my next question, which is perfect, honestly. So fantastic.
What was that next question?
It was actually what does Quest aim to bring the community? And I'm like, okay, already there, perfect.
Yeah.
Right there at the end. I was gonna say it kind of leads me into my next one, which is simply is this, like 10 years from Quest. We're at the first anniversary of Quest is rearing its head. This is it. It's coming. It's a big step for you. It's a big milestone. Want to hear it? 10 years. Close your eyes. Where do you see it?
10 years, huh? 10 years.
Speaking into existence exactly what you just said. What do you got?
In 10 years, the vision for Quest, which is subject to change, shift, and adapt as necessary, right? Because we're all about tending to our clients and tending to our content creators and professionals that, and helping them achieve what it is that they want to do. But the personal ambitions of Quest, if that's what you're asking, at some point is to have a esports presence. So to have a proper professional team, to have a proper content creation team, individuals that are sponsored specifically by Quest. Some big names that might come to mind in this space are 100 Thieves, Optic Gaming. There's a lot of folks over in Dallas for Dallas Fuel, who's starting to do quite a bit in the content creation space as well, outside of their esports professional gaming presence. So right, those two things. I to be honest, I see a big compound. I see a big stadiums. I see us being affiliated with all sorts of things with the community. One huge dream that I have that I would really like to do it a lot sooner than 10 years is to begin offering young adults and kids, well, to offer kids classes on technical enablement. So learning how to utilize technology to what's the word I'm looking for? Not to be relevant, but to to learn relevant technologies, whether it's via development, but via data and AI utilization, whether it be an infrastructure side, to help provide like young folk the technical expertise and focus in whatever it is that they might be passionate about, specifically in the realm of gaming, because that's where we operate. Shout out to Quest Gaming, right? For all kids everywhere. I'm a firm believer that I am the way that I am today because I was able to have a controller in my hand since the moment that I was a kid, and I think all kids need that. I think this is this right here single-handedly changed my life. And if I could bring that same impact to another child, I absolutely will. Additionally, I'm a firm believer in financial literacy and understanding, how to work with money, how to start searching for financial freedom, and having yet again a set of steps and guidelines to making that happen, especially for young folk, because over the last 5 years, I did not know diddly about money. I knew that I needed it, didn't really know how else to get it outside of working my ass off all the time. And there's just other ways, there's other ways, smarter ways that when I say financial literacy, what I really mean is just awareness. So bringing these things to light, these are not things that should be a secret from other folks. So
basic educational financial awareness. I love it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the ambitions for you're not the first person to have asked me that question, and the craziest thing is that I always try to be very careful about what I say, because I'm a firm believer in speaking things into existence. I be careful about what I say because I don't want to limit Quest. I think Quest is going to continuously evolve, shift, and adapt based on what we notice from our clients, from our fans, from supporters, and I don't know, and eventually anybody else who believes in the company. So there's a lot. There's in the wise words of Nas, and I hope you guys know who Nas is. The world is yours. The world is yours, for real. I believe it. I believe that the entire world is yours, and that you can go out and achieve anything. And if we can have a hand in helping you do that, then we will. And that's what Quest will be doing for the next 10 years, for 10 years after that, and then until they take it away from me and I can't do jack diddly else.
Until a board of directors has you squared off the premises and they're no longer in standing.
Get him out of here.
He's got chairs, but that's it.
Get him out of here.
I love it. Absolutely. Always such humble words. So well spoken, and honestly something I think a lot of people aspire to be in any terms of their leadership and understanding, fully being aware of what you're capable of, knowing how to achieve it understandably, expecting it, and setting up that understanding of greatness within, everybody around you, etc. Holding that level of responsibility. I love it. I love the way you've phrased it. I love the way you've built it up. And I don't think you ever have to worry about the concern of misappropriating yourselves and the design of what you're trying to do.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. The hope is that, again, is also being able to, the challenge really, right, is being able to get other people to see that. So, get yet another skill set that I personally aim for is to become a master of communication. Am I able to effectively say things and get you to understand, get you to really see what I'm saying. So I feel like if you're telling me that you get it, then I might be on the right path then.
Well, we are here at the end of our interview. I want to say thank you again, Christian, for joining us. An absolute powerhouse, a visionary, a dreamer, a hard worker, and clearly a man of humble words. I loved having you. I loved having the opportunity to do this with you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day for us to sit down and have this conversation. And before we let everybody go, the last thing I wanted to do is obviously set you up for an opportunity for you to state something. It's a little bit of a twist on your own thing where you can state and promote something of your choosing, but I'm going to put it on this. What are your 2 cents if you could give one piece of advice for the next generation?
Bet on yourself every single time, twice on Sunday, no matter what. Why do I say that? Because if you have $1 bill left in your bank account, who else are you going to give that to? Who? Bet on yourself every single day. It's not going to be easy. It will be ridiculously difficult. I'm sorry to come in so like blazingly passionate, but I never did. I never did when I was younger. And here I am. I look back at who I was 10 years ago, reluctant, like not to say shy, but like hesitant, always just maybe somebody else will do it. No, you step up to the plate and swing. Damn it, if you miss, you miss. You went up there and you swung. And there's more to be proud about in trying and failing. The smart thing would be assessing why you failed and trying again. But at the very least, if you got up, tried, swung, and missed, that's more than somebody that never got up to try in the first place. So my friends, I leave you with this. Clean up on the areas that I was a bit dirty in, or a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Not, like, whatever. Clean up in the areas that I wasn't as sharp in, and bet on yourself every single day of the week, twice on Sundays, and 4 times down. If this man over here, if this guy right here, if he comes to you and he asks you whether or not you're going to bet on yourself, do it. Look at him. Look at that focus. Come on now. Thank you, Lucas, so much for hosting the interview, man. I really appreciate it. I've been looking forward to this for a while. So I think that's it for all of the staff interviews. I'm glad to have been able to do this, to have had such wonderful compatriots to even say is part of the staff of Quez. I had no idea a year ago that I would have people that work with me. So the team is growing. The company is going to continue to grow. And I'm hoping that all of you are going to sit alongside us the entire way through.
Well said. I loved it. An absolute poet, I would say.
Nice.
I had a good time, man. Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Cool. Well then, I'll go ahead and give us a quick little outro here. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what it is. If you like the video, do me a favor. Look, it's just a quick little scroll down. There's a little like button. Just boom, hit that. Just right there. The entire video. If you want to watch it, you'll catch it right here on this YouTube channel. Quest Gaming still needs to be set up. That's my fault, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, and then you can catch all of our snippets as well from this interview, as well as the rest of our staff on Instagram, Twitter. We're gonna probably get a TikTok going. I really don't like TikTok. That's a whole nother conversation about why I don't, but whatever. It's gonna be a good time. So I'll be linking all the socials down in the description below. Make sure you give us a follow. All right, we're growing. Train's going. It's here right now, but it's on its way. All right, Lucas, if you got anything else you want to say to get us out of here, man, it's your time to shine.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure being the host this evening. And like you said, click below, check it out, look at the full video here at the end. It's an absolute trip. It's a good time. Find out the creepy little nitty-gritty secret stuff about people. That's the best part about these interviews, about who we are. That's it, man. Honesty.
Facts. Nice. All right. Thanks, everybody.